Hi, I'm Ed from RIDGID. Today we're going to talk about the 535A threading machine. The capacity on the 535 is from 1/8 to 2-inch pipe. You can also do 2.5 to 4-inch pipe by way of the 141 geared threader. And we've already done some videos on that, so I'll ask you to refer back to those. As far as solid stock or bolt stock, you can do from 5/16 to 2-inch solid stock. The chucking mechanism, and this is quite unique and it's exclusive to this machine, it's an auto chucking mechanism. The jaws on them are reversible and they're forged and replaceable as well. The centering device in back is actually tied into the jaws, so when you actuate everything, it centers the pipe as well as gripping the pipe from both ends of it. Has an 820 cutter. It's a full floating cutter, okay, from 1/8 to 2-inch. You have a reamer here that's 5-fluted, and it does right hand right now. You can also purchase one to do left-hand threads if necessary, and we'll talk about that later on. Has a self-priming G-rotor pump. The die heads that are available for this machine are the 811A, the 815A, the 816A, and 817A die heads. The motor that's used in here is quite different from a conventional threading machine. Usually we use universal motors that are high RPM and geared down. These are induction style motors. They're constant speed, constant torque, and it delivers the same amount of RPM regardless of what you do to it with its range. The standard equipment that comes with it, there's various ways to buy it, but typical standard equipment, it comes with an 811A, and once again you can order it with the 816 and 817 die heads respectively. It comes with a set of 1/2 3/4 dies, universal. It comes with a set of 1 to 2-inch dies, universal. It comes with 1 gallon of extreme performance oil, and incidentally this is the only machine that we offer with the extreme performance oil. It comes with a spare cutter wheel, and the model number for that is E1032. Also it features a 3-speed transmission that's application specific, so you have 16, 46, and 58 RPM respectively. And once again, that's application specific. So general rule of thumb is the larger diameter of pipe that you want to do, the more you have to slow the machine down a little bit within reason. It's still efficient to where you can get your job done a lot quicker than with a conventional threader, but again, being that the torque goes up as you increase in size, you're going to have to slow the machine down a little bit to be capable of handling that. There's 3 stands available for this machine as well. You have the 100A, which is basically 4 legs and a plastic tray in the center. You have the 150, which has a plastic tray and 2 wheels. And then you have the 200, which is the one that we have our 535 mounted to, which has a steel toolbox. That way you can put your pipe wrenches in there if need be, some basic tools, your just various different things. Your die heads as well, your accessories for your machine, different things like that. And it also comes with retractable arms and 2 wheels as well. The die heads that are available for this machine, okay, are the 811A, the 815A, 816A, and 817A die heads. In this portion of the video, I'm going to show you how to set up the 817 die head. That's what we're going to use with the 535A that you see over my left shoulder. Keep in mind that there's also videos out there on RIDGID today on YouTube where you can reference for a lot of different things. And part of the things that are out there, for example, are the 811A, 815A, 816A, and 817A die heads. But once again, since we're going to use this for that machine, that's what we're going to start with. So I have my die head here. The first thing I'm going to do is pull this plunger back, and I'm going to slide the cam plate all the way over to where I can clear for the pocket. Okay? My dies, they've already been cleaned. And as I've stated before in other videos, make sure even if they're new that you wipe them down. Okay? There's very tight tolerances between the pockets in the die head and the dies themselves. So you want to make sure that they're clean. That way they don't get stuck or jammed up. So I'm going to grab die number 1, and I'm going to put it in the corresponding pocket to the line. And I'm going to do the same with all the other ones. Now sometimes you'll have a hard time putting these in, and that could be that they're either dirty or they're misaligned. So hopefully that won't happen here, but if it does, I'll show you what to do. Okay, so now I'm going to hold this lever in the open position, and I'm going to slide it over. And there you go. It's all set. In this portion of the video, we're going to show you how to thread with the 535A. Make sure that your machine is unplugged and that it's in the off position. Okay? I'm going to put on my glasses here. And we'll go ahead and mount the die head onto the carriage. Go ahead and guide the post into the hole in the carriage, making sure that it's straight. You don't want to bend that, because if you move it one way or the other, it's going to misalign the die head. Okay? So we'll throw this out of the way, and we'll grab our pipe here and slide that into the spindle of the machine. Okay? And now I'm going to go ahead and plug my machine in. And we'll go ahead and put the machine in forward. Now there's 3 speeds to this, as we previously talked about, and they're application specific. So for 1.25" pipe, we're going to use 46 RPM. So I'm going to go ahead and move that over and put that at 46 RPM. Okay. Now I'm going to check with the foot switch and make sure that the pipe is correctly centered in the spindle assembly. And there you have it. All four jaws are grabbing the pipe now. So I'm going to bring my cutter down, and I'm going to move the hand wheel to move the carriage. And if you're cutting a specific length off of the pipe, obviously you'll put the cutter wheel on that mark. Okay, so once I sense some tension there, I'm going to go ahead and give it a quarter of a turn to get it set. We'll turn our machine on, and every time that that pipe makes 1 revolution, I'm going to give this a quarter of a turn. It doesn't really take long because this machine is very quick. There you have it. So what I'll do is I'll spin this back just to make sure that it's ready for the next cut that I do. I'm going to bring down the reamer, and I'm going to unlock it and slide it forward. And it doesn't take a lot of force. Let the cutter do the work. Okay? So bring this forward, applying moderate pressure, and then we'll back it out and swing that out of the way as well. And remember, guys, this is the operator side of the machine, so anything that you're not using is going to go away from you. Anything that you're using, you want to bring towards you. Okay? So now I'm going to bring down the die head, put it in the working position. And once again, you've got 4 sizes here, as we've stated in previous videos. So I'm going to set this for 1.25". I'm going to push down on this handle and lightly hold the die head with my other hand, and just slide that to the 1.25" position and release it, and there it locks in. Okay? What's going to happen is, unlike a 811 die head where you need to swing the throwout lever to get the dies to release, what I'm going to do here is just bump this. You don't have to hit it real hard. All you have to do is just give it a slight bump, and it'll release itself, and it'll index to the next size. If you prefer to hold it, it'll slide all the way down. And that's fine too, whichever one you prefer. So we'll bring this back up to 1.25", and I'm going to turn the machine on now. And as I approach, make sure you have a good flow of oil, and apply moderate pressure to the hand wheel to get the dies to bite into the pipe. And once that happens, you can go ahead and let go. I'm going to watch die number 1 when the last tooth is embedded in the end of the pipe. I'm going to go ahead and hit this. And there you've completed your thread. Thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Ed with RIDGID. Today we're going to show you how to use the 819 Nipple Chuck. The capacity for the 819 Nipple Chuck is from 1/8 to 2 inch. As standard equipment, it comes with adapters to do 1/2, 3/4, 1 inch, 1.25", and 1.5". For 2 inch, you simply use the base as you see here. And this is where you would screw your pipe on. Okay? Also, what comes with it is your Nipple Chuck wrench, your insert, and the hanger so that you can put all your parts together. Okay? In the next video, we're going to show you how to prepare the pipe so that we can start the process of creating a close nipple. In this portion of the video, we're going to start doing our threads for the 819 Nipple Chuck. Once you have your pipe inserted in your machine, as per the previous videos on the 535M, you'll thread and ream the pipe as you normally would. it's important that the thread is dimensionally correct. And what I mean by that is it can't be oversized or undersized. If it is oversized, what's going to happen is it's going to jam itself onto your adapter by way of the threads. And at that point, then you won't be able to get it off unless you use a pipe wrench. If it's undersized, what's going to happen is this part of it right here actually backs out when you release it, as you can see here. Okay? And what happens at that point is it will bury this to where you won't be able to get the pipe off of there again, so you're going to have to use a pipe wrench to get it off. So it's important that this is dimensionally correct. In other words, once again, it's not oversized or undersized. Okay? What we usually use here is a simple thread gauge, and you can use a coupling as well with the machine in the off position. What you want to do with this here is you want to make sure that it is flush, plus or minus a thread. What you would do if you had a coupling is you would look at the specs for a thread and determine how many threads of hand-tight engagement you should have. And at that point, you'd make your determination if you need to be undersized or oversized. So at this point, we're going to cut the pipe. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the scale. As you see here, I'm going to put my cutter wheel against the end of the pipe, put this on 0, and then I'm going to measure the length of the thread itself. And that is about 7/8 of an inch. It is 7/8 of an inch. So you multiply that times 2, it's 1 3/4 inches. So we'll continue to 1 3/4 inches right there, and we're going to cut the pipe right there. So here we have our pipe nipple that we're going to create the nipple with. We'll take this out of the way. And now we will install our 819 Nipple Chuck. So what I'll do is I'll back the carriage out, back the hand wheel so that the jaws are in the openmost position. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to align these flats with the jaws. And you'll tighten that as such, just like you would the pipe. At this point, I'm going to use my insert for 1 inch. So I'm going to put that on there like so. I'm going to put my adapter on, and with the machine off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my insert wrench on there and just make sure that that's good and snug. At this point, I will put, pardon me, I'll put my nipple on here. Okay, I'll turn my machine back on, and now I will thread and ream just as if you would if it was a piece of pipe that was sticking out of the machine. Okay, so now with the machine off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the wrench pin into the housing of the 819 Nipple Chuck. I'm going to push that way and release this. And there you have a close nipple.